This video is a short introduction on how to configure and connect to a brand new out-of-the-box Spirent Network Emulator or connect to an existing Spirent Network Emulator. The Spirent Network Emulator, or for short SNE, is a Spirent product developed by our partners Calnex from Ireland. The Spirent Network Emulator is a multi-port, multi-user, any-to-any port impairment tool, allowing for the introduction of various impairment tools to emulate real-life network conditions. The SNE has a Windows application, which can be found on the Spirent or Calnex support sites, or for Cisco folks, the easiest way would be to go to the Spirent FTP server on Cisco premises. When you first open the SNE GUI, this is assuming you have just installed the application and you're trying to connect to a brand new box. By default, in your device inventory list, network emulator would appear with the default IP address of 192.168.1.100. In order to change the IP address of your brand new SNE box, all you need to do is directly connect your machine, laptop, to the Spirent Network Emulator's network port. Change your IP address to an IP address within this subnet. Once that's done, this device would appear as online. The status here on the top right would change to idle, and you can go under the network settings. Under the settings tab, you will find a sub-tab called Control Port Network Settings. This is where you type in the new IP address that you wish to have your SNE working with. Once the new IP address is typed in, you can confirm changes, which would cause the network emulator to reboot. The next step is to add your newly IP network emulator to your inventory list. What you can do, you can right-click the Devices tab, add network emulator hardware, and type in your IP address. In my case, 10.2.100.138. As you can see, my newly added network emulator appears in my inventory list with a green icon and an idle status. The next step is to create a configuration file. In SNE world, the configuration file, it is called a map. The maps will be created under your device. As you can see, you have a map tab with already a default map appearing. Once you double click it, this default map will open up as a tab into your main pane, or you can right click and create a bridged or a routed map. More on bridged and routed maps in another video. So I will create a new bridge map, unpin my device navigation. In my blank map, I get to draw my connections. On the right hand side, you'll find the network toolbox. Let's say I want to create a connection between port 1 and 3 on the Spirent Network Emulator. So what I need to do, drag and drop my ports. I will drag the port 1 incoming traffic, and I'm going to port 3 outgoing. And at the same time, I will do port 3 incoming to port 1 outgoing. This allows me to create a map involving the TX and RX on each port. You right-click the starting point and you say create a link and point to where the link needs to be created. So simple as that. Connection between port 1 and port 3 on the Spirent Network Emulator has been made on both TX and RX links. The next step is to introduce an impairment. Let's pick a packet delay, for example. In the network toolbox, you can either, without no filter, you can find all of the tools available to you, or you can filter through the tools. So I'll click on the wrench, would give me all of the impairment tools. Let's pick drop packets, for example. You can left click, hold it down and drag it and drop it into your map. Now the impairment is within your map, but it is not applied on any of the links. In order to apply the impairment on a link, left click, drag and hover over the intended link. As you can see, the link will change color. Once it's highlighted, you can drop it. I'm sorry. Your impairment is now part of your link. How do I know that? You see a tab before and after the impairment. The next step would be to play the map. Playing the map or playing the configuration file, top right corner, the play button. Now your impairment has been applied. With this button right here, you can show the status of the impairment, or you can show the turn on and off switch. So in a case that I want at a random time during my configuration file run, I want to turn this impairment off, I can very easily do that. I can turn it back on. Thank you, and we'll see you in another video.